You know what I like to do?
Talk into a microphone?
Yeah, and also get in on the action with sports
Have a big
interaction.
head.
Yeah. Wear bare feet in the freezing cold.
Be a dad.
Friggin' wear V-necks that are actually
It's not a
crew-necks.
V-neck, okay?
Sorry.
Sports interaction. NHL, NBA, MLB, so much more. It's the friend I don't have, clearly. Crazy Odds, best live and play. Download the app in Ontario. You can use the QR code at the bottom of the screen, or you can head to sportsinteraction.com/STPN to get started. 19 plus, please play responsibly and get better friends.
Yell at the computer. He does that too.
Sheldon Keefe can act, baffled all he wants. They need to get back to how they played against Tampa. They need to have less of the puck, actually. So the Panthers thrive on making you make mistakes and capitalizing them. When do you make mistakes?
At your own blue line.
When you have the puck.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not saying having the puck is a bad thing. I'm saying the Panthers are forcing the Panthers are handcrafted to beat a team like the Leafs.
Yep.
And the Leafs have the puck, they make a mistake with it, and the Panthers capitalize. If they keep playing this way, if they keep winning the deserve to win-o-meter war, and that's all, they'll lose the series in 4 if they keep it up.
Yeah, that's. I think that's the key of this series. Is it's a terrible matchup for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Everything they do poorly, the Panthers are able to capitalize on that. That's the exact game that the Panthers play is the opposite Leafs.
See, I'm not totally sold that. I'm not totally sold on a couple things here, guys, because here's the reality of the situation. Through 2 games, in all situations, the Leafs are shooting 5.48%. Their goals against that, or their save percentage is .877.
Columbus.
I know, but
I'm sick of it.
Yeah, your goaltender's also a member of the team.
I know that, but I mean, I don't expect the goaltending to be this bad, is what I'm saying. I don't think that Barkov goal goes in again if you tried another 10 times. And I'm looking at how many posts they hit last night. If we go through I'm looking at this. Nylander, Tavares both have pucks go off the post. Kerfoot, is on the side of the net as well. No luck there. And then Josh Mahura got hit in the eye and he was bleeding profusely. Leafs get another power play.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go into the third here. There's at least there had to be 7 or 8 posts in this game. So are the Leafs just not gonna be good at shooting now? Is that what it is, or is it? Can we chalk some of this up to straight up? Sometimes you get bad luck, because that's what it looks like to me.
Sure, and we might take that into the summer, right? That's one of those things that is difficult to control. I'm not going to say you can't control, but it's difficult to control. But the Leafs are leaving it up to chance. They allowed a bad goal and they made a silly mistake.
Yep.
The silly mistake they can clean up. The bad goal, Sammy's not at 100%. And we talked about the Panthers-Bruins series and the end of it and how they probably should have went to Jeremy Swayman earlier, right? I don't know if if Game 7 should have been his series debut. Or maybe
Should have been Game 6.
He showed up in Game 6?
It should have been Game 6.
So we had the Mark Giordano conversation. I think Joesph Woll should get Game 3.
I wanted to say that, guys. What are your thoughts on that, Jesse, with Sammy's goaltending so far?
He's definitely injured. It's a situation where just with Ullmark, you can see that they're battling something, but they're good enough to play in the game. So it's the question of, you guys love doing the thing of how much of 90% of, who was it, McKinnon you always use?
I use, Tyler
Johnson.
Started with Tyler Johnson.
And
I think the guy they were keeping out of the lineup, if I'm remembering the 2015 Stanley Cup final correctly.
And only you could.
I think it was Vlad Nemestikov.
Yeah.
And it was Tyler Johnson with a broken wrist versus Vlad Nemestikov. And I'm positive Nemestikov's better.
No, but you're doing the thing where is it 60% of Tyler Johnson is better than 100% of Vlad Nemestikov. So I think we're getting 85% Sammy right now, if I'm guesstimating. I think it's about 80 to 85%. I think that's still a better gamble than Joesph Woll. If they lose the next one, it doesn't matter anyways.
If Michael Bunting is going to get criticized for holding his neck after a cross-check, Sammy is wincing at everything. And I think that shot and warm-up really stung him.
Oh, off the collarbone.
And the Panthers keep going up high, and he's just the way he's reacting to things and the way he's moving his lower body. I'd go Woll.
But I don't look at the Barkov goal and say that's a direct result of his injury. I think that's a bad mistake. And the thing about the Leafs being unlucky is that the game turned on two controllable mistakes.
Agreed.
You get a save, you don't turn it over at your own blue line. Mm-hmm. You're making your own luck in those two instances, and that's literally the game. It was a 1-goal game, and you allowed 2 on things you can control.
And it happened within the first couple minutes. It's the first couple minutes and the last couple minutes of any period that'll kill you.
But you guys are both on start Joesph Woll game 3.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah,
I am.
Because
Here's
they're
the thing.
down 2-0.
You could have made an argument going into the playoffs that you could go with Woll over Sammy.
Easily.
And people are like, what are you talking about? Sammy played all year and he played great all year. Absolutely agree with you. But Woll won 12 games in a row with the Marlies? 12-0-0 or something he was?
He won like 6-7 in a row with the Leafs.
This is what I'm saying, right? So people are like, well, he didn't do it at the NHL level. I think if anybody watched the games, anybody that saw the games, saw a kid who was completely poised, completely focused. And the one thing I liked about him versus watching Sammy and Matt Murray is he never lost control of where his posts were. You never see him out of position. And I think if the Leafs are going to win this series, they're going to need a guy who's like that. If I could criticize Sammy for anything, and he's been spectacular for them all year, great story. Mm-hmm. It's he does lose control of those posts, and he is throwing his body to try to save things. And the one thing that I always look at to see if, like, do I think the goalie's in it, is when a shot goes towards the net and they kind of go, they lose it. And if that happens a couple times in a period, you know they can't see the shot that well that day. So I'm Joesph Woll for game 3.
When he's getting up and you see him favor his right leg thing, or his left leg?
Left leg.
The broadcast has been pointing it out. That stuff makes me cringe a little. It's like, why are you in there if you can't stand up fully? I would love to know how much he's injured. Like, if I'm the coach, I'm making a decision based on that, because I think a healthy Sammy, I'm starting over a healthy Joesph Woll. But if he's too injured, then there's no reason he needs to be in the game.
So what I'm trying to look up, oh dear.
Just like with Allmark.
What's up?
So Joesph Woll has better NHL and AHL numbers this season than Akira Schmidt. Now, I'm not saying because of that he's better. That's simply not how it works.
No.
I'm saying, dude, when the Devils started Akira Schmidt, like, we got to take ourselves out of the moment. We see him. He's clearly ready. He's clearly, one of their top 2 guys, at very least. We don't know if he's going to play game 2. He's clearly one of their top 2 guys. It was a weird decision at the time to go with him. Mm-hmm. It was a very strange decision.
Well, because Vitek's the starter, you think that, why would you move off that?
And they were down 0-2, and they were getting their ass kicked. They lost the first 2 games of the series 5-1, and they turned it around. The reason I'm wanting to do these changes in game 3 is because if you wait for game 4, it's already too late.
Yeah.
If they're down 3-0, you're relying on them doing something that's happened 3 times in NHL history.
Yeah.
I think, coming back from a 3-0 series deficit. So I'm gonna be desperate on Sunday in Florida. I'm going 11-7 on account of one of the forwards is injured, and I think it's just the better idea anyway. If you bring Hall into the lineup, Gustafsson, Giordano out, whatever you have to do, go 11-7. And Joesph Woll's my starter for game 3. You can go back to Sammy. Mm-hmm. And I think you should at some point, especially if Woll falters. And if Woll loses game 3, I think you give Sammy game 4 ceremonially. But if you wait for game 4, it's too late. You make the changes now.